Family, this video right here is about status correction. I'm going to be clearing up some questions and some rumors in this video, as well as guiding the family to where y'all can go if y'all want y'all status corrected and y'all sick of being 14th Amendments. So yes, I'm making this video basically in regards to me understanding that there are people who do watch me and follow me, you can say, and I would never and I would never want to, even though I tell people do not be a follower, be your own person. I would never lead people down the wrong road, or want to be responsible for leading you down the wrong road. So road, or be your own person. I would never. I'm making this video basically in regards to me understanding that there are people who do watch me and follow me, you can say, and I would never want to, even though I tell people do not be a follower, be your own person. I would never lead people down the wrong road, or want to be responsible for leading you down the wrong road. So the rumors I'm going to be clearing up in this video today is basically y'all seen me on Sinetta, y'all heard me. Also give a shout out to Polite for doing my status correction, as well as I was on Sinetta and I was with a guy by the name of Nature Boy, who is his own man. He does his own thing, but he incorrectly and involuntarily, without my permission, made a statement such as, "Oh, at SOS we're helping people do status corrections and move to Africa," when he has nothing to do with SOS and what I'm trying to found at this current time. Now, before I go to clearing up what's going on with that, I want to just get to the first things first. Black people, if you're interested in sovereignty, you're a secure party creditor and you want to self-educate yourself and get out of the system, first things first, there are two books I would recommend. For one is a book that I just ordered off of Amazon. It's called Contracts, Cases, Discussions, and Problems. This book is the #1 book you can get as far as the Redemption Manual series. It's updated. It was just updated in 2013 in regards to the laws, and I brought it in 2015, so it's pretty up to date. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book. In the back of this book, it has all the contracts, all the papers that you would need to send. They already previously filled out so that you can get a look at what they would look like and be familiar with them. Also in the book, all throughout this book, family, is actually the history of as far as when America went bankrupt. Basically everything you need to know about creditors and debtors. This tells you who, what, where, when, and why. They've already went and looked up specific terms and understandings that you would need to have on a situation, such as all crimes being commercial. They've already paraphrased it, cited it for you out of the book. Courtrooms being Title 11 bankruptcy courts and not really functioning under Article 3, and far as being a 14th Amendment citizen. They teach you how they trick you to give up your sovereignty for citizenship. This breaks down everything you need to know basically about being a creditor or debtor. I personally recommend this book. I've read it. As you can see, it's in my hand. If you want to do the #1 thing that you can do, black people, which is self-educate. This book is not as scary as it looks because it's thick. It's not one of those books that use big crazy words. Yes, I would recommend that you have a Black's Law dictionary. If not, just use your phone, and when you Google the words, don't just say definition, say Black's Law dictionary definition, so that it gives you the legal term definition on when you use your Siri. But other than that, I would recommend that book and the other book I just showed you on your phone, which just came in my mail today that I ordered. Now, last but not least, if you are looking to get a status correction done, family, and you're not looking for somebody to play you, or you're looking for the results to get done, I'm personally stamping this. So I'm personally recommending this, family. This is not me just talking why, and I'm going to show you why I cited it for you out of the book. Courtrooms being Title 11 bankruptcy courts and not really functioning under Article 3, and far as being a 14th Amendment citizen. They teach you how they trick you to give up your sovereignty for citizenship. This started in 2015, so it's pretty up to date. As you can see, it's a pretty thick book. In the back of this book, it has all the contracts, all the papers that you would need to send. They already previously filled out so that you can get a look at what they would look like and be familiar with them. Also in the book, all throughout this book, family, is actually the history of as far as when America went bankrupt. Basically, everything you need to know about creditors and debtors. This tells you who, what, where, when, and why. They've already went and looked up specific terms and understandings that you would need to have on a situation, such as all crimes being commercial. They've already paraphrased it, cited it for you out of the book. Courtrooms being Title 11 bankruptcy courts and not really functioning under Article 3, and far as being a 14th Amendment citizen. They teach you how they trick you to give up your sovereignty for citizenship. This breaks down everything you need to know basically about being a creditor or debtor. I personally recommend this book. I've read it, as you can see, it's in my hand. If you want to do the number one thing that you can do, black people, which is self-educate. This book is not as scary as it looks because it's thick. It's not one of those books that use big crazy words. Yes, I would recommend that you have a Black's Law Dictionary. If not, just use your phone, and when you Google the words, don't just say definition, say Black's Law Dictionary definition, so that it gives you the legal term definition on when you use the Siri. But other than that, I would recommend that book and the other book I just showed you on your phone, which just came in my mail today that I ordered. Now, last but not least, if you are looking to get a status correction done, family, and you're not looking for somebody to play you, or you're looking for the results to get done, I'm personally stamping this. So I'm personally recommending this, family. This is not me just talking why, and I'm going to show you why I'm personally recommending this. I recommend you go to a brother named Tazadak. He's on YouTube. I cannot think right now off the top of my head of his exact YouTube name. But hit me up and I'll share the link. If y'all need it, I'll share it on my Facebook. But outside of that, the brother gave me permission to give his email out in this video for anybody looking to get their status correction done. He charges $7.50. Now, for most of y'all saying, oh, why would somebody pay to do your status correction? Well, if you're somebody who doesn't know how to do this paperwork and you're looking to get your shit done correctly, because believe me, I tried to do it myself and sent some paperwork in and they sent that shit right back. So if you want your shit done right, or you want it done correctly, because we don't know everything and there are some things we need help with, then it's well worth it to become freed from the system. So now with that being said, this brother does respond. He does email. You can call him on the phone. He does talk back. He's not a one of those type of brothers. Now with that being said, his email is creditors, debtors, contracts at yahoo.com. Spelled CREDITORS at yahoo.com. Creditors, debtors, contracts at yahoo.com. The brother's name is Tazadak. Tazadak. Now, why would I personally recommend you to this brother, saying that he does paperwork? Because he did mine. Right here in your face. You can see it. Now, I'm not going to zoom in because it's personal names and things on there. I kind of spread it out. But you can see this is just one pile. These are instructions on how to fill this out, or how to fill my names in the blanks, and how to send it in. And this is more paperwork here, family. As you can see, I got the sticky notes instructing me on where to put my name, as well as other instructions. And like I said, I'm not going to zoom in too much because it's personal info. But now I can tell you from personal experience, this brother will do your paperwork. I actually just sent my UCC financial statement off this Monday. I'm waiting for a response. The brother it took him 3 days to do my paperwork, family. So when you write him, he might say, oh, it takes 2 weeks for him to respond, but that depends on how backed up he is. But I can vouch for the brother. He does respond. You can call him, and like I said, he did mine in 3 days. Not saying expect to get yours done in 3 days. It might take the full 2 weeks, but I can say the brother will get on your paperwork same day, same night. It's easy to pay him. It's not hard. You can either pay him over his email. You can pay him through PayPal, or you can Walmart to Walmart him. You can work that out with him personally. But just want to let you know that if you are looking to get your status corrected, and you are looking for your work to actually get done right, and somebody do you right, then he's going to do it right. He's going to do everything right and exact, and he's not going to play. So I ask y'all, if y'all do go to him professional, y'all. Please go to him professional, because he's going to come to you professional. Now, clearing up what was said on Sinetta. First, about Nature Boy. Why Nature Boy said that, I don't know. I didn't tell him to say that, y'all. So for one, please, y'all, don't keep writing me in my inbox asking me, do I do status corrections so that we can go to Africa? Hell no, I don't. The man said that shit on some other shit. I don't know why he said that. It was live. As y'all know, when I'm teaching the people, I try to stay professional as possible and don't blow up in the middle of shit like I be wanting to. But I didn't tell him to say that. I do not do status corrections. That is who does status corrections, Tazadan. Now, for everybody else telling me, okay, Pharaoh, we hit polite or we paid or we did whatever on his website to do our status correction and he's not hitting us back, can you holla at him? Da da da. Personally, I want y'all to know, as y'all may know, I may be in contact with a few people from around that circle, but I have nothing to do with the actions of other people. All I can do is speak from my personal experience. I know, personally, me originally went that same route, and I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying and say, don't take what I'm saying, personalize and use what I'm finna say to go further your personal beef or your personal agenda that you may have with anything in contrary to what I'm finna say. I'm only speaking from personal experience. Not egotistical hatred or agenda, but just so people who's writing me this can understand that this is where I'm coming from and why I went the route I went and why I'm giving you this route. In October, I did go through that route, through the New Covenant route to pay for my status correction. Skipping a long story short, skipping a long drawn out story, it did not, my status is not corrected through New Covenant, and it did not get corrected through New Covenant. So now, for whatever reason, why people maybe, because we all understand what's going through the air. Maybe whether people saying polite is a scam artist, whether they saying he doesn't have enough staff. I'm not here to chew on that or put that out there. All I will speak upon is what is factually happened, which is I did go that route initially, family, and I did suggest that y'all go that route as well. But that is the end result I ended up getting, which is my status did not get corrected. So if you were somebody who followed me and you went that route, then understand that we got the same exact result. So I did not intentionally mean to walk you into this outcome because I share the same outcome as you. So for everybody in my inbox asking me the same question, we got the same result. So now with that being said, without dwelling on that, yes, I'm not here to throw flamethrowers. I'm not here to blow up grenades. I'm just here to let y'all know that I did also get the same result as you. But if you are still in the avenue or still in the want to get your status corrected, get them 2 books, Self-Educate Yourself, that I provided. Hit the email up of the brother Tyler that I provided, and it can get done. And another thing I want to say is for people who are for the family that's, you gotta excuse me, I'm gonna tired, it's late, but for the brothers and sisters that's inboxing me like, oh, Pharaoh, da 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 da, I gave my last. I want y'all to understand something. Just so you can feel I'm relating. When I first let's say got out of jail, apparently I wasn't in a position that I put myself in now. So when I first got out of jail and I invested my currency into New Covenant for them to do my status correction, understand that I was in the same predicament you were in. I literally want y'all to know that I literally gave my last. So once I did that, under the premise or the guy says, okay, I'm going to do this, boom, I'm going to be free from the system, I'm going to be able to take care of these tax benefits, da 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 da. That literally was my last, like I literally had $0.00 left in my pocket. Just coming out of jail, felony, no job, no selling drugs or nothing. I didn't go back to the streets, invested my last to get something positive out of it. So now, 3 months later, let's just say I just now paid Tazadoc. So for the 3 months I was in the waiting, you can say, to get this done, of course I was building something for myself, but in the middle of some of those transactions, before I started paving the way for myself, I want y'all to know that like it was very, very, very unbalanced, you could say. Like it was times was difficult than a motherfucker, and it was times I could have said, like, my man offered me $100,000 to bust a move. I could have been went back to the street. Like, just so y'all know, I had some money I had like 40,000 before I went to jail. Like, I was doing my ones and twos in the streets. But when I came out of jail, I was at a level of righteousness where I promised the ancestors, I'm like, okay, I would never, ever, ever delve back in that life. So even though I had invested my last into something that I felt was going to get me out of, or help me to create what it is I'm trying to manifest, in the turmoil of that not happening through New Covenant, I never fell victim back to the streets, you could say. Even though I was tempted like a motherfucker, my righteousness was just like, nah, I can't do it. So to answer your questions, is people saying, oh, I invested my last and this, that, and the third, or you might have followed my footsteps. Not saying I feel guilty because you followed in my footsteps, but just so you know, I suffered with you. You didn't suffer by yourself as far as the result. And then for 2, here's the out. Tazadak. The brother Tazadak does actually do the paperwork. I'm showing you. I'm giving you the email. I'm showing you from personal experience. So I just want people to know that there is no path that we walk down, that you walk down, that I'm not willing to or won't walk down with you as black people, as family. So I would never suggest to y'all nothing that I have not done or at least tried myself. And I would never speak on nothing that I have not personally experienced myself. So with that being said, y'all, as far as status correction, that is why I don't want y'all to think I'm just suggesting y'all to people and saying, go here to do this, go here to do that. But that is why now I am suggesting y'all to Tazadak. And for 2, that shit Nature Boy said on Sinetta, I don't have nothing to do with that. He said that shit out of his mouth crazy. Now, excuse the energy, y'all. I'm jive tired, it's jive late. It's my last video of the night. So, concluding this here. If you want to learn about sovereignty, secure party creditor, get the Redemption Manual 5.0 on Amazon. It's like $106. The second book, the first book I showed y'all, the Bryan and Blum's 3rd edition contracts book. It's like $200 something on Amazon, but on eBay it's like $50 something, y'all. Go get it and get those 2 books. Get your mind right and educate yourselves. Hit the brother Tazadak up if y'all want y'all paperwork done correctly. He has instructions to mail them as well as he does over the phone. You can speak with him over the phone. You can go into details with that when you email him. He'll send you all of everything he offers out. So with that being said, y'all, that is the true avenue that is guaranteed to work if y'all want y'all paperwork done. I just showed y'all. Once again, I'll show you again. My paperwork is done for a fact. It is done. I just mailed my UCC 1 off Monday. So, that is why I would offer y'all to, I would refer y'all to go to Tazadak. And that is also my experience that I had with New Covenant, as well as everybody else in my inbox who's basically like, oh, Pharoah, basically we followed you down that path. What's going on? I got the same motherfucking results you got. So, like I said, this is not a, I'm not pointing the finger in this video. I'm not doing nothing like that in this video. I'm not even going into details too much personally about my situations as far as what happened with me and New Covenant. I'm just letting everybody know who followed me down that road that this is why I am referring you to Tazadak, and that please don't take my words and use them to further any personal or hate. Peace, family. This video right here is a continuation of my status correction. I have decided that for my convenience and your convenience, I'm going to document each step of my status correction process to not only ensure for myself, but to show the people whether this works or not. I'm fully 100% due to my own research comfortable in the outcome I'm going to get out of the situation, but I'm doing this video to clear up any questions that anybody may have about as long as this process, and try to give people more confidence in taking this route, and the end result as well as the entire process will be shared with you, family. Now with that being said, this is status correction part 2. If you haven't watched status correction part 1, please do so, and it'll update you on what the things I was speaking on here. So in my status correction part 1, I stated that the brother Tazadak did indeed help me to complete my paperwork, and I did file for secure party creditor status. Now my UPS tracking number stated that they have received my mail certified on January 6th. On January 12th, you see the date on this envelope. I don't want Which y'all seeing no address, but this date if you can see it. It's a little blurry. It say January 12th on there. On January 12th, which is 6 days after they initially received my mail, the post office received that back from the Department of State. And on January 13th in my mailbox, I received this letter containing inside it a filing acknowledgement from the Department of State titled, as y'all can see the date without me showing too much personal information, filing acknowledgement January 8th. Like I said, they received mine January 6th to me, Department of State. And I'm not going to go too much further on there because there's personal information on there, but I'm going to read the response to let y'all know this does work. And Tyler Doc, when doing your paperwork, is official when I left his contact information in my status correction part 1. Now, it says, attached is the acknowledgement, copy of your recently submitted filing. The filing consists of a total of 3 pages. However, only the first page of the filed document is returned as part of this acknowledgement. This document has been filed with the New York State Department of State Uniform Commercial Code Division. This financing statement has been assigned filing number, blase, my filing number, filing date 1/6/2016, just as I told y'all is when my tracking number said they received it, and is currently reflected in our automated database as follows, and it has my personal information. And then it go on to say this filing will lapse on, and then it gives me the date and and it encourages me to take my to recertify on a certain date. Now, with that being said, this is the first page, family. I'm not going to just show you it directly because there's personal information on there, but you can see this is factual paper from the Department of State, acknowledged, and to show you that I did indeed send off my UCC financing statement as well as other documentation. I'm going to cover my name here, but I'm going to show you what they stapled back. But let me get y'all a better view. Hold on. UCC financing statement. You see it. Boom. And at the bottom, you can see that this is not a blank, because if y'all want to say, oh, it's blank and there's no filing number on there, I'm going to block out the actual filing number, but you see they put this at the bottom of the document. Filing number, and I'm not going to give you the whole number, but you see that they did respond. Anybody who knows anything about filing this paperwork knows that when you print out a UCC one, or however you get it, it don't come with no filing number at the bottom. So this is to show people that they do respond. This is
What's up, fellow entrepreneur? It's PK Patel from Midwest Corporate Credit, where funding your business is our business. What is a UCC filing? We get this question a lot from our clients. So today we're going to cover what a UCC filing is, how it impacts the funding of your business, and what the risks are associated with a UCC filing. So what is a UCC filing? It stands for Uniform Commercial Code. All it is a lien that a lender files in order to secure assets that were pledged by the borrower. The easiest way to explain what a UCC filing is to relate it to a mortgage on the real estate side. Let's say you go out and buy a house for $500,000 and you put down 20%, you finance $400,000 of it. The lender is going to then place a lien against the house for $400,000. Let's say you make good on this $400,000. You make every single payment like you're supposed to according to the promissory note. You abide by all the terms. 30 years later, you make your last payment and you pay it all off. The lien, which is the mortgage, will then be released. However, if you don't make every single payment and you default on that loan, the lender has the rights to take your house away and put it in their portfolio and resell it to recoup the investment that they made in making a loan to you in the first place. A UCC filing works no different. A UCC filing may be used to secure any type of asset that a business owner pledges as collateral. This may include equipment, inventory, receivables, vehicles, real estate, or anything else that's of value. There are two types of UCC filings that are most commonly used. You have your blanket UCC filing and you have your specific collateral UCC filing. A blanket UCC is used to collateralize all assets within a business. This type of lien is typically used when a business gets a large amount of capital lent to it at favorable terms. The other type of UCC filing that's widely used is a specific collateral UCC filing. These are very common when you go to finance a vehicle or a piece of equipment. All it means is that particular vehicle or that particular equipment that you finance is the only thing that the lender has the rights to repossess if you default on this particular loan. Now let's take a deeper dive into some of the risks that are associated with UCC filings. The first risk is the fact that UCC filings may prevent you from getting additional business financing, especially those blanket UCC filings. Once you have those, all the other lenders know that all the assets within your business are collateralized. Yes, your business may grow, and yes, you may need additional financing, but at that point, you may have to refinance and pay off the original UCC filing and seek other ways of funding your business and do some additional financial engineering in order to get the funding you need after the UCC has been filed. Risk number two is the fact that UCC filings impact your business credit. Every single UCC filing from the last 5 years will show up on your business credit report. Even though some of them may have been released, your business credit report may not catch that right away. It's a good idea to look over your business credit report and see what UCC filings show up there, and if some of them are paid off and outdated, it's a great idea to contact that lender and have those released. And risk number three is probably the most obvious of all of them. It's the fact that you can get the asset repossessed and lose it to the lender if you ever default on that loan obligation. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you this week. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get next week's awesome video. Also, if you like this video, please let me know. If you have any questions, comment below. For Midwest Corporate Credit, I'm PK Patel. Thank you for watching.
All right, this is a very quick cell phone video, and I'm going to just briefly talk about the status matrix. This is the result of completing the blueprint. This is actually my recording, if you will, my status matrix commercial status recording. So this is the common law trust, excuse me, not the common law trust. This is the living trust, which is the most important trust when it comes to correcting your status in commerce and things like that. So this is your living trust over here. This is your UCC filing with all the appropriate instruments behind it. This register mail number is attached to the bond that was recorded with this filing. The original bond is still here because this filing is done from home. This number is the same as this number. And why this is there, if I ever had to use this bond, let's say in some type of court proceeding where I was trying to bond a case or trying to it's a couple different ideas of how you would use it, but then you would take this same financing statement and you will do an assignment of that bond to the fiduciary, right? See what? Remember? Oh, actually, I didn't mention that because we just started this video. I was rolling a draft before this, but what I was going to say is, see, here's the living trust, which is this is the first thing that you need to do to rebut the Sesta KV Act. They're taking control over your state because there's no executor. This is the living trust, and this deals with that. You're the executor for the estate, but you're the trustee for the living trust. The living trust attaches to the estate. And so you have to think in terms like this. An estate is not a business entity, right? So an estate always does business in trust. Some people attempt to use the foreign situs trust, and now we're attempting to also use the living trust. So, but the reason why I was just bringing it up at this particular time is because understanding that you're the trustee over here, and also, you know, understanding how if somebody presents a claim to the trustee, you have this bond that's for discharging secured funding, and it's a contract-based commercial instrument like every other commercial instrument, so there's no reason why it can't be valid, right? So anyways, if somebody presented that type of claim or you had to do business for the trade name as the trustee, you can use the registered mail restricted delivery to deliver this secured funding discharging indemnification instrument to the fiduciary, judge, court, clerk, whoever, and then you would update this UCC by doing an assignment. But anyways, that's not beyond the scope of this, but it's good that I said that. I guess now you can kind of get an idea that these instruments are going to be what you use. You know, they're not going to be just something that, oh, now you're a secured party. You know, everybody in the world is going to, you know, leave you alone and they're going to put you on a special list to not bother and to let you do everything you want. No, you have to comprehend what you have in here. This is to protect your person and protect your estate. That's why and how this was created. You know, so these are your original instruments that you will have on your person. All right. So this is actually my original UCC filing, although it was done online. But when you look through here, you're going to only see original instruments. Right. I'm going to kind of go through this in a second. So again, living trust, I always like to authenticate the document. I don't really talk about this in a master file blueprint because it's not necessary. You don't have to, but you can. I just make sure that everything, all, what do they say? I's are dotted and T's are crossed, so to speak. Now this up here is just a registered mail number. It's not required, but I make the habit of taking the trust after it's executed in the acknowledgement and register mailing it to the trustee. It's supposed to be in his possession anyway. So that's kind of a record of the trust. We want to create the record of the trust because in order to administer your estate, you have to prove competence, and that's by operating in trust, basically. So let's see. So yeah, this is the filing. You have your common law side, commercial side. This is the living trust is executed. Now, again, this UCC recording, you know, I show you this whole layout in the master file blueprint, but it can all be done online. It can all be done online. And again, you know, so that it doesn't get rejected, you know, there's no, you know, make sure that your secured party that you're operating from reflects that you're operating in trust. Let's see. Something to note is you might have noticed on the UCC one in the blueprint that I have collateral written right here. Well, unfortunately, when you record this online, and you don't have to record it online, you can walk it in. But when you record it online, they're going to only let you put collateral in box 4, or you can attach a PDF. In our case, because we had to put the bond back there, we had to put the power of attorney back there, the fee schedule, common law copyright, so we had to scan in a PDF. So therefore, I couldn't put anything here. So the information that was here, which was the registration statement information for the bond, if you looked at the template, I just put as part of the attachment. Everything behind this statement was scanned in as a PDF. So there was a copy of all my original documents. So that's the bond registration statement. Certification of trust, which should reflect, you should have clicked the proper buttons on here to show that you are operating in trust. That the collateral is held in trust. This is a certification of trust. Now you're having this on the record, right? When you follow the certification of trust, and you can authenticate this. It's not necessary. You wouldn't even have to do it. But also this certification of trust, if you kind of read through it, it talks about the attached schedule. It says the attached schedule A is a true copy and a listing of property held in trust, etc. But it talks about this attached schedule A, A1, A2, A3, A4, which is different instruments. And here's your schedule A right here. So you see the A1 is the bond, or is it? I got them a little bit out of order, sorry. But, you know, so one of this, you know, first you see this is the Rule 220 affidavit attached to the authenticated, you know, that's the United States seal, State of Ohio seal, authenticated birth record. This is the master discharge indemnity bond. And just call it a bond. It's not, you know, it's just a bond. By the way, these numbers right here, you can Google barcode registration converter, and and it'll convert your numbers, and you can copy and paste that. So for those who just needs to create things like this, witnesses on the back of bond. This is your common law copyright. Oh yeah, this is your copyright. Video shows you how to do that. You take it through the newspaper. And this is your fee schedule if you do a fee schedule. Now the fee schedule is real important. I'm gonna do a video about that. I'm gonna go back into the information about traveling and provide some different tools for people. But anyways, there you have it. It's right under 10 minutes. That's cool. Excuse the shaky hand camera, whatever. Anyways, if you're interested in this service, just to clear it up, I'm not offering any type of full service. I don't really do this for people. I've created a blueprint that I call a master file, and for your donation of $150 to thctrust.org, which is crazy, worth what I'm asking for. Like, this is ridiculous. This should be like $1,500 for me to, even just $500 if I was just going to give you access to this research. But it's only for a donation of $150, and realistically, you don't even have to do that all by yourself. If you have a little study group or somebody that you're working with, and y'all are studying together and funds is tight, then combine it together, right? You can share this within your local small circle. But that's it. Don't be like the people at Stop the Pirates at blogspot.org that's just selling one of my products and never ever even spoke to me or even asked me if they could or even thrown me any dollar for doing it. It's just crazy. I can't even believe they're doing that. But anyways, don't really care. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get back to my grizzly and put some more work in. Oh, and visit www.thctrust.org.
What's up, fellow entrepreneur? It's
This is an actual thing that can take place. This is a difference between becoming a sovereign and a secure body creditor. This is not sovereignty. This is clear up any questions that anybody may have about as long as this process, and try to give people more confidence in taking this route, and the end result as well as the entire process will be shared with you, family. Now, with that being said, this is status correction part 2. If you haven't watched status correction part 1, please do so, and it'll update you on what the things I was speaking on here. So, in my status correction part 1, I stated that the brother Tazadak did indeed help me to complete my paperwork, and I did file for secure party creditor status. Now, my UPS tracking number stated that they have received my mail certified on January 6th. On January 12th, you see the date on this envelope. I don't want y'all seeing no address, but this date, if you can see it. It's a little blurry. It say January 12th on there. On January 12th, which is 6 days after they initially received my mail, the post office received that back from the Department of State, and on January 13th in my mailbox, I received this letter containing inside it a filing acknowledgement from the Department of State, titled, as y'all can see the date without me showing too much personal information, filing acknowledgement January 8th. Like I said, they received mine January 6th to me, Department of State. And I'm not going to go too much further on there because there's personal information on there, but I'm going to read the response to let y'all know this does work. And Tyler Doc, when doing your paperwork, is official. When I left his contact information in my status correction part 1. Now, it says, attached is the acknowledgement, copy of your recently submitted filing. The filing consists of a total of 3 pages. However, only the first page of the filed document is returned as part of this acknowledgement. This document has been filed with the New York State Department of State Uniform Commercial Code Division. This financing statement has been assigned filing number, blase blase, my filing number. Filing date 1/6/2016, just as I told y'all is when my tracking number said they received it. And is currently reflected in our automated database as follows. And it has my personal information. I'm making some herbal tea. So yeah, we got some keep y'all updated. I ain't forgot about y'all, family. We've been building, making some plans up for some things to come in the future. You know, once this status correction takes place, it's kicking off.
Oh yeah, and SOS, we got a military branch. Look forward, it's coming soon.
Holla.
Peace.
So yeah, more videos coming. I'm gonna try to upload some more tonight. I just wanted to get this one out there for y'all. If not by the night, the good brother Jose will be here for the weekend, and by tomorrow, I will have my channel will continue to be educational. But outside of that, family, this is just the status correction 2 update. And when I'm going to respond to them with more paperwork, because in my first one, y'all seen I had a lot of paperwork. You don't send it all at one time. I sent certain documents. So now that they responded, I'm going to send off the next set of I'm in the process now of creating an affidavit of fact to amend my parole contract. So long story short, y'all, this video ain't gonna be too long. But according to the fictitious government, they acknowledge my status. So I'm gonna let y'all know I'm about to try to discharge something as well as amend my parole contract. So be looking for the next update to this video. Once again, if you're looking to get your status corrected, go to my first video, part 1. I'll put the brother Tyler Doc's information in there, who helped me do mine. He gets it done sufficiently and timely, and he's not going to play games with you. If you go to the brother, just be serious, because he's going to be serious with you about doing your paperwork.
It was a freaking scam. One messed up fucking scam.
Any lawyers out there see this and y'all want to contact me, I am fully welcoming y'all. I'm seeking help from legal counsel, because I would like to file a civil suit, as well as get this overturned and get this felony expunged off my record due to me being wrongfully convicted. And that is the point of this video. So with that being said, if you want to support me and you're watching this video, the link is in the description.
Peace, it's your brother YK the Truth, and this video is going to be a live one. This video, I'm going to show you that young Pharoah do not give a damn about black people, and he don't give a damn about his followers. I'm going to show you. You're not going to be able to hit the dislike button on this one. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Now let's go. A while back, young Pharoah made some videos about his status correction. I think he made 4 parts to his status correction. Okay? This is the same status correction that Polite allegedly scammed him on, right? Now, it's been months down the road, about 7-8 months down the road. Did you guys get an update on his status correction that he got from a brother named Tazadak? Do you remember that? Do any of his followers remember getting a status correction and remember young Pharoah saying that he's trying to get his parole moved or his parole contract dismissed? Now, what happened to this status correction? This is what everyone wants to know. What happened to the update? Letting the people know if this status correction worked or not. This is why I say that you don't give a fuck about your followers. I'm going to tell you why. Because you still have those videos up saying, go to this brother, it works, without ever doing an update. If you cared that much about your people, you would have had the videos removed. Not only that, you would have gave an update of your status correction. Now, this is making me think that you use polite as a come up. And I'm going to tell you why. Tazadak did your status correction. How come you're not making any videos saying that he scammed you? This is a question that you have to ask people. This is a question that young Pharaoh followers have to answer. How come he's not making videos about Tazadak? How come he had to ask for $10,000 for a lawyer for his parole? How come, family? Why didn't he update the status correction? Letting people know that it's bullshit, it doesn't work, don't go to Tazadak, it's not going to get your parole removed. Because it's a lot of young brothers like young Pharaoh who thinks that status correction can magically make your criminal history disappear. Or your present situation disappear. So can you trust people like this? Can you trust people who don't do research? And not only don't do research, but share this information to people who can potentially be scammed as well? Now he's doing a black card saying he's the master of research. I'm going to show you it. So should we trust people like this who don't even have the integrity to inform the people? Don't buy this shit. It did not work for me. So, this is for all the black, the black women who love to support this dude because they don't even realize that they are in a cult. Why is it that there's so many black women in the church? Why is it that so many black women fall for these charismatic pastors? Why is it black women are the most religious? Do you see the pattern here? Now watch this video get dislikes. Even though I'm clearly showing you that he did some bullshit. Again. So what can you say about this? You, the one who's about to dislike this video. What can you say about this? Is he in it for the people? Or is he in it for himself? No videos about Tazadak. Only videos about polite. Right? What happened to your status correction? What happened? The people want to know. Look at the comments on your own channel. Do you even read them? They want to know. Did you even let the people know that it didn't work before asking for their money? Before getting that 10 grand? Total disrespect. Total disrespect. But your followers are so gullible and so addicted to looks and charisma, right? Because that's all you see on your page. You rarely see people addressing the things you say in your video. You only hear them commending your physical features. So these women are clearly in it for the wrong reason. What do you have to say about this? But I'm hating. But this kid is not being real. It's your brother YK the Truth, and I'm out. Peace.
price?
First of all, I want to say that it's fantastic and it's incomparable with any other, let's say, venue out there when it comes to traveling. You know, family, I do research on a master level. I have personally looked into black car traveling myself. I've even did it with other companies. I won't say their name due to friendly business practices, but I'll give you a hint. The first letter in the beginning of their name starts with an E, and the ending letter is an A. And I personally put them up on one screen, black car traveling on another screen, and I've seen, you know, beautiful hotels such as even the Ritz-Carlton at a discount of $500 with my own two eyes. Creditors, debtors, contracts at yahoo.com. The brother's name is Tazadak, T-A-Z-A-D-A-Q. Now, why would I personally recommend you to this brother? Saying that he does paperwork? Because he did mine. Right here in your face. You can see it. Now, I'm not going to zoom in because it's personal names and things on there. I kind of spread it out, but you can see this is just one pile.
It was a freaking scam. One messed up fucking scam.
Don't want y'all to think I'm saying fuck the police. I'm not. Hear me clear. They put these deep state motherfuckers in law enforcement to incite and instigate violence and mistrust between the citizens and law enforcement. And then they're going to use that to create riots like they just did. And then they're going to use the riots to enact martial law. And then they're going to use martial law to bring in the new world order. So it's not fuck all of the police. You have to realize the police have been infiltrated. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the police tearing their own shit up.
The cops are breaking their own car, and they're going to blame it on the protesters. Woo! We're here in the name of peace.
See? They tearing their own shit up.
Their own car.
They tearing their own shit up, and then they're going to blame it on the protesters. They're going to have the media come in and film it, and then they're going to use that as an excuse to promote civil unrest. Now, like I said before, this is LA, right? Los Angeles. Look at the police directing this woman on this is vandalism. The police are promoting crime. It's not us. It's them. But it's not all of them. It's the specific motherfucker.
Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days, don't know where we are, or who we are. Here we came too far, in the darkest days.
Alright, what up, y'all? Planet of Fakes here. And I just want to correct young Pharoah. He got these riots totally wrong. And I don't understand how anybody could not say fuck the police. Fuck the police. You understand? But again, young Pharoah, I don't know why he's not teaching his followers that states and cities are foreign companies, not American places. My only guess is the fact that he was on probation for the city of Buffalo. So, of course, he's going to continue to act like Buffalo's an American place. It's not. He's misleading his followers, whether it's deliberate or by accident or by mistake or by an agenda. States and cities are not places. They are foreign companies, meaning they came from somewhere else, opened up shop here, and now black people pretending to live in people's companies. This is why you don't have American rights, because you're living in people's companies. And as soon as you come out the womb, your parents register you to a foreign company to grow up, use their foreign name in order to interact and do business in their corporate society, which has nothing to do with America. This is why it's called the United States of America, because they created those companies so foreigners can come here and get the benefits, privileges, and immunities that almost equal to the American rights. But with privileges, benefits, and immunities coming from a foreign company, they could take it away from you anytime in order to make profit. That's why people on curfew now. You see how they took all your rights away? So you won't stop their profits. And if you think they're not making money, or if you staying at home, they're making tons of money from you staying at home. You don't think stocks are falling? You don't think they bet against those stocks? But anyway, young Pharoah, he knows all about aliens and all his 6 neutrons and 6 protons equal blackness. Let's listen to how he got all of this wrong.
I don't want y'all to think I'm saying fuck the police. I'm not. Hear me clear. They put these deep state motherfuckers in law enforcement to incite and instigate violence and mistrust between the citizens and law enforcement.
All right, let's pause it. People and citizen is two different things. We all know people created the Constitution. The Constitution is the contract between the United States and the people that was on America. And the United States promised the people that it won't violate the people's rights. But in the creation of the United States needed workers, they needed laborers, and all this other stuff. So they created the U.S. citizen. Now, Americans did not have to become a U.S. citizen because we already have rights. Citizenship was mainly for people that would come to America or was on America and didn't have rights. This is why black people lined up in groves to become U.S. citizens, because at the time, the colonies were not treating black people as equals. You understand? They was treating them less than men. So the District of Columbia, which is the capital of the foreign company, and that's why it's a district. District means company, not place. So why is the United States capital a foreign district? Because it's a foreign company. So they came up with the idea and said, hey, we're going to create U.S. citizens and black people come become citizens, and we're going to make sure you get all the benefits, privileges, and immunities of white citizens, which was a trick statement, because in law, there is no black man and there is no white man. It's just man. So every time black people use the word black in court, you're not going to get no justice or rights, really, due to the fact that's made up. There's no such thing as colored people. So the fact that he's always bringing up this blackness and having people call themselves black, you tricking them into never having rights. You're just a man. And once you get a court to say a man don't have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's it. We could dissolve the United States, because that was their whole agenda. But as long as y'all make up these fictional characters like aboriginal, indigenous, black man, African American, U.S. citizen, you're not going to get no rights, because those are made up corporate terms in their business. And Americans don't go to their corporate courts anyway. That's a conflict of interest. They're biased. They're for the company. So why would they look out for people that's not in the company? And why would they look out for people that's in their company illegally? Like young Pharoah. He's telling people he lives in Buffalo. Buffalo was a foreign company. The entire police force just quit because 2 so-called cops pushed down a 75-year-old man. But let's continue.
And then they're going to use that to create riots like they just did. And then they're going to use the riots to enact martial law. And then they're going to use martial law to bring in the New World Order. So it's not fuck all.
Let's pause, because they don't have to bring in the New World Order. The New World Order was tricking black people into thinking states and cities were places, and that they brought them from Africa as slaves. So he already He already promotes black people was brought from Africa, which we wasn't. You understand that? And he promotes being a U.S. citizen. You understand? But you got to realize he's on YouTube, a monetized platform, is but so much he can say and still make money. You understand? But he has brought no solutions to black people as long as he's been doing this. And he's been doing this since Sandra Bland. That's how he got famous, by using Sandra Bland's name. You understand? And there's no shots against him, but everything he's saying is totally wrong. He said the martial law part, he got that from Alex Jones. We all know that already. What did he do for his people all these years to prepare them? He didn't teach them what states and cities are, because he's simply still pretending he lives in Buffalo. Go, I challenge any of y'all, go ask young Pharoah what the city of Buffalo is and tell him to give you a receipt. He can't, and he won't. Because he needs you to believe states and cities are places, and y'all keep sending him United States dollars in his Cash App and donations to do nothing but trick y'all into being foreign citizens, because the U.S. is a foreign company. That's why we call it the U.S. of A and not the U.S. is A. But all his followers and what he's teaching them, the United States is America, which is a lie. But also I want y'all to pay attention to how all these pro-blacks, when the U.S. do something to them, they come on these platforms and say it's America. The only reason they say America is doing something to y'all, because the foreigners need black people to hate America, but love their foreign state, love their foreign city, and never say anything bad about the U.S. And this is why they always say America, and have y'all thinking that the America is doing shit to y'all. America's keeping y'all alive because your rights come from America. Those benefits, privileges, and immunities that they're taking away from y'all, they come from the United States. It's treason. And he's setting y'all up to be killed for treason. Not him particularly, but he's not helping y'all to understand that states and cities are foreign companies and not American places. No matter what they do to y'all, y'all still calling them government, and they're not a government, because corporations can't be government. They're owned by men that don't pretend to live in them, and damn sure don't call them government. But your dumbasses sitting there pretending to live in foreign companies and calling them government, which is ignorant. So he's spreading ignorance.
The police. You have to realize the police have been infiltrated. Now, if you don't believe me, look at the police tearing their own shit up.
All right. The police have not been infiltrated. The police is a foreign agency. Police stands for policy officers, because they're upholding the policies of the United States corporation, the state corporation, the city corporation, the town corporation. That's why y'all call it police, but they're actually policy enforcement. See? And they're enforcing, because they're going to take over America fully and bring in full communism, where they're going to orderly exterminate people, just like they had to do in Germany. A lot of people don't know. The people in Germany had to die because the country was in debt. And each birth certificate is connected to the debt. So every time they get rid of a birth certificate, meaning get rid of a man or a woman, their debt goes down because they no longer owe for that bond. Same thing here in America. Y'all owe the world $24 trillion. Your birth certificate is worth millions. Once they kill you, that's off the market. That's one less million they owe, because there's foreigners getting paid off for each birth certificate bond. And that's why people are retarded for pretending to live in the United States, and somebody asks you what a state is, you can't even tell them. I don't care if people don't believe me or not. I'm going to watch y'all get orderly exterminated with your own consent, because you calling your killers government.
The cops are breaking their own car, and they're going to blame it on the protesters.
I've been showed that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear him say that this is the Illuminati. If y'all been following people like Young Pharoah for years, and all they could tell you is it's the Illuminati and all that, stop following them. Because telling people that the Illuminati's doing this ain't saving their lives. And he got the word to use, psyop. No. Living in United States, foreign companies, pretending they're American places because you scared of them, that's the psyop, Young Pharoah.
Don't come protect the undercovers, while the undercovers dislike everybody, hate and dislike everybody. And then they're going to use that motherfucking chaos to their advantage to...
And no, they're not going to... They don't have to use none of that. If they wanted today, they could come and arrest every U.S. citizen for trespassing. Y'all living in foreign companies and don't even know their companies. You're trespassing. And I tell people to always look up the Trading with the Enemy Act. In that act, it says every U.S. citizen is an enemy. And they had to create an act in order to do business with U.S. citizens. because they're enemies. Y'all trying to overthrow America by pretending the United States is America. The United States is not America. Why the F do you think we call it the United States of America? Nobody will believe the Bank of America is America.
Trading with the Enemy Act, legal construction. The Act of October 6, 1917, Trading with the Enemy Act, under 40 Statute 418. The Corporate Congress amended the definition of the enemy to include you, the American people, on March 9, 1933, when the government confiscated all the gold owned by the American people and declared you the enemy of the United States Corporation, municipality in Washington, District of Columbia State, thereby making your status as the enemy no different than the Germans during World War I or the Japanese, thereby making your status as the enemy no different than the Germans during World War I or the Japanese during World War II. You are considered a foreign enemy. Trading with the Enemy Act, legal construction. The Act of October 6, 1917, Trading with the Enemy Act, under 40 Statute 418. The Corporate Congress amended the definition of the enemy to include you, the American people, on March 9, 1933, when the government confiscated all the gold owned by the American people and declared you the enemy of the United States Corporation, municipality in Washington, District of Columbia State, thereby making your status as the enemy no different than the Germans during World War I or the Japanese during World War II. You are considered a foreign enemy. That's why you are in commercial. See, there's two sides. One is your republic under Republican form of government, which is a man or woman with all inalienable rights. Number two, you are a corporate debt slave in the commercial realm of the corporation and the enemy of the United States government, which is a corporation. The Trading with the Enemy Act is a War Powers Act dating back to the American Civil War, when the bank-controlled corporate government, through the corporate government puppet President Roosevelt, stole all of America's gold, wealth, and property from you, the American people, to enrich the government corporation and the foreign banks. Please comment on this video and let us know what you think. I'm asking you to visit cancelonemortgage.info for the LPN security to utilize in order to pay off your residential or commercial mortgage and other type debts in as little as 14 days. And for those of you who want to buy a home, commercial property, land, or a business with just a down payment based on your good credit, I strongly urge you to read Cancel One Mortgage. Trading with the Enemy Act, Legal Construction. The Act of October 6, 1917, Trading with the Enemy Act, under 40 Statute 418. The Corporate Congress amended the definition of the enemy to include you, the American people, on March 9, 1933, when the government confiscated all the gold owned by the American people and declared you the enemy of the United States Corporation, municipality in Washington, District of Columbia State, thereby making your status as the enemy no different than the Germans during World War I or the Japanese during World War II. You are considered a foreign enemy. That's why you are in commercial. See, there's two sides. One, de jure republic under Republican form of government, which is a man or woman with all inalienable rights. Number two, you are a corporate debt slave in the commercial realm of the corporation and the enemy of the United States government, which is a corporation. The Trading with the Enemy Act is a War Powers Act dating back to the American Civil War, when the bank-controlled corporate government, through the corporate government puppet President Roosevelt, stole all of America's gold, wealth, and property from you, the American people, to enrich the government corporation and the foreign banks. Please comment on this video and let us know what you think. I'm asking you to visit cancelonemortgage.info for the LPN security to utilize in order to pay off your residential or commercial mortgage and other type debts in as little as 14 days. And for those of you who want to buy a home,
try to ask young Pharoah and Sonetta, all these pro-blacks that I don't get along with, why y'all still teaching black people the United States is America? It's because they sellouts, they're traitors, and they're ignorant.
Create anarchy. Huh? And now that they got everybody hating everybody, then they tell everybody to blame that shit on Trump. And they're trying to use Donald Trump as a muse and a scapegoat to create anarchy in this country and bring this country down. And when everybody tear this motherfucker to the ground, they are then going to bring in the military that they got in their back pocket. Okay? And I don't want nobody to say they can't do it because they sent General Flynn to jail. He's a 3-star military general, and they lied on that man and set that man up. So if you don't think these motherfuckers infiltrated the goddamn military, you better think again. Now this is proof that these motherfuckers is paid by George Soros. Watch this.
A woman sort of facetiously asked if there were any paid protesters in the house. And of course everybody shouted no and groaned. But you...
And think about it, George Soros is a foreigner. So you mean to tell me these fake American / U.S. citizens are going to take money from a foreigner to tear their own land up? No. But they will take money from a foreigner thinking they're doing something good for America, which they're not. The United States is not America.
Stood up and indicated that you are a paid protester. What did you mean by that?
Now this nigga admitted that he was a paid protester. Now watch this.
Well, I meant, you know, like we all get paid to be.
I don't want y'all to think I infiltrated every layer of.
And this is the lie right here. He's telling you the Illuminati infiltrated every layer of the United States. It's a lie. The United States is a foreign company from the beginning. Just because they've been acting like their places and black people trust the news to say, oh, today is 78 degrees in Buffalo, and you got the Buffalo Bills football team. All that shit is to trick you and to have you bond with the foreign company. Because now that you see sports team and actors acting like they live in Buffalo and you ain't doing nothing with your life, you got to act like you live in Buffalo and you're contributing to it. And you pretending to live in Buffalo, when they bring down the hammer and hold all of y'all for treason, you're going to be guilty. Because your whole life, they got a record of you pretending Buffalo's a place. When Buffalo's not a place. You're not supposed to be following TV. You're not supposed to be following celebrities. And who the F would trust state education if you never learn what a state is? Young Pharoah and a lot of other people been raised off of state education. So think about this. He's representing Buffalo. He got a state education. He's sitting here supposedly enlightening thousands of people a day. And when you ask young Pharoah, what is the state of Buffalo with a receipt, he's not going to tell you. And that's why y'all going to basically get put in FEMA camps, because y'all sitting here in somebody's foreign company trying to assert American rights, and y'all not even Americans. Y'all U.S. citizens, period. And I told people this. The United States ain't nothing but a foreign company. Don't think the United States started here. It did not. States are all over the world. This is how you know a state ain't American. If states were American, they would only be on America. This is how you know people stupid, and I don't even care if y'all like me or don't like me. People dying because they don't know what states and cities are, and y'all continuing to teach them that ignorance. But like I was saying, the United States is the fast food of municipalities. What is a municipality? A municipality is a corporation. So now that this municipality, fast food, we might as well say, opened up on the U.S., it expands, and now it opened up on Hawaii. The difference between Americans and Hawaiians, you're not going to be able to go to Hawaii and tell Hawaiians that Hawaii is the United States, because they know that the United States is not Hawaii and Hawaii is not the United States. The United States is just a municipality in charge of their resources and land distribution. You understand? The same thing here. Only thing the United States is responsible for is land distribution and the handing out of resources and the controlling of resources. This is why they consider their citizens human resources. Now that they consider their citizens human resources, they have a legal right to control y'all. This is why the police is here, because as long as you're pretending to live in their companies, you're their property. And the Constitution says that people have a right to their property. Every U.S. citizen is a property of the United States foreign corporation posing as America to act like your government. Now, black man, I ask you, if a state is not a physical place you can't be in, how the fuck are you in the States? And think about it. If U.S. citizenship was such a good thing, black people wouldn't be automatically born U.S. citizens. You see, we can't even get justice, and that's because you're a U.S. citizen. You're in their company, and nobody's going to hire their company employees to find out the company's doing wrong to pay a whole bunch of people that don't belong in the company in the first place. This is why black people are delusional, and you're going to lose your lives like you've been losing them, because the United States is not America, and you're engaged in treason every time you act like the United States is America. And I always tell people, go Google misprision, MISPRISION. Every U.S. citizen is guilty of that. And the only reason they're bringing in the National Guard and like stuff like that, they want y'all to already think that it's legal for them to have an army here. I tell you, in 5 years from now, people will be on curfew every day, and they'll be running up in people's gates, pulling out the men, separating the women, separating the children. Pedophilia will be legal. All of that will be legal. You know why? Because it's their company, and there are no Americans. Because just like young Pharoah, all the U.S. citizens know is the U.S. So they're not on here claiming land rights and claiming your companies. Young Pharoah is never going to tell a cop you can't do shit to me because Buffalo's a foreign company and I'm on America, because he's too busy pretending to live in Buffalo, and he's just telling black people it's the Illuminati. Pharoah, people been telling the black it was Illuminati before you use Sandra Bland's name to continue to misinform people. So you need to just wake up and stop supporting that U.S. is America bullshit, man.
These people were not doing nothing. They were peacefully protesting. And these motherfuckers is instigating violence. Look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Look at this agent. Look at him. All of this shit is from over the weekend. The nigga got a vest.
Young Pharoah's an agent for the United States Corporation. I can't trust young Pharoah because young Pharoah trusts the state, and he doesn't know what a state is. Despite saying all this stuff about state agents, he still don't know what a state is. And if you go look at his videos, he's going to say this is America. He's going to say these are American police violating you. No, United States agents are not American agents. America don't have agents. America don't have a government, because each American is the king and queen of their selves. And as long as you don't violate our rights, it ain't none of our business. And right now, my rights ain't violated. I come and go as I please, during curfew or not.
Let me zoom in. He got a vest on. Okay? He got a wire hanging out his shirt. He got handcuffs in his back pocket. Okay? And he got the thin blue bracelet to let other police officers, just like this one right here, know that they're undercover agents. Look. Look at these motherfuckers. Look. Now look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. Where they get one of these from? What protester you know out there with a goddamn CIA headpiece? This the shit that the goddamn Secret Service have when they protecting Trump. Where the fuck he get one of these from? So the deep state is real. It's not a fucking fantasy. Freemasons are real. It's not a fucking fantasy. They have infiltrated every layer of this motherfucking country, and they are using.
And country means company. Why would the Illuminati have to infiltrate the company that they created and people like young Pharoah been tricked to believe they live in? All this could stop overnight by asking the police, by asking the mayor, by asking the president, by asking any U.S. employee what a state is. If they can't tell you, go on Facebook Live and air them out. You know why? They're going to go to jail, because that's treason. You can't work for a state and not know what a state is. You can't live in a state and not know what a state is. You can't let a state kill you and not know what a state is. And that's exactly what young Pharoah, all these other pro-blacks, and even the non-black people are tricking you. They're tricking you to believe the United States is America, and the United States could do anything it wants to Americans. It cannot. The United States can only do anything it wants to U.S. citizens because they're not alive. Because live people can't live in made-up places. States and cities are fictional places. And I ask people, if the United States was established in 1776, where did people live in 1775? You know they're not going to answer because they're traitors. And this is why they're orderly exterminating y'all now, and they're going to continue. And anyway, I got my receipt on what Buffalo is. Go ask young Pharoah what Buffalo is. With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment. Hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amore-eka.com/TV. That's our Planet of Fakes 2. We are the new umbrella.
quote, city leaders.
Undercover agents.
New York State Supreme Court, Nicholas Hill 1844 Law Reports, Digests, etc. The City of Buffalo, on demurrer to a replication which alleges that an ordinance of a municipal corporation was historical statement of the unification of the book concern, being Web Links Books 1908. Being the action of several bodies officially related thereto. Buffalo, N.Y., January 4, 1907. Shall be instituted as will create a body politic and corporate, under the laws of the state of New York.
Companies, not places. Keep playing stupid.
This morning, 2 Buffalo police officers have been suspended after disturbing video showed officers pushing a 75-year-old man to the ground and leaving him there bleeding. It's really hard to watch. This happened during a protest against police. The man is knocked down by 2 officers and several others walked right past him without helping. He's in serious condition in the hospital this morning. A spokesman for the police department initially said the man had tripped, but opened an investigation after seeing the video you just saw. The New York Civil Liberties Union released a statement overnight saying in part, quote, city leaders need to take this as a wake-up call and seriously address the police violence. Governor Cuomo called the incident, quote, wholly unjustified and utterly disgraceful. He went on to say, quote, police officers must enforce not a
Planet of the Fakes and Pigstar HH News. Thoughts. Entire police unit resigns, in disgust because 2 officers were suspended for pushing elderly man to ground. They were simply doing their job. I don't know how much contact was made. The entire 57-member emergency response team of the Buffalo Police Department has resigned after 2 members of the unit were suspended for pushing a 75-year-old to the ground during the George Floyd protests. The resignations were confirmed by the police union and 2 law enforcement that spoke to the Buffalo News. 2 members of the tactical unit, which responds to riots and crowd control, were suspended without pay on Thursday after video emerged of the confrontation during the emergency curfew. The development that the members resigned, out of support for the suspended officers, as well as the disgust with the admin, was first reported by Spectrum News. Buffalo Police Benevolent Association President John Evans said the officers were simply doing their job, and the man slipped during the interaction, which was aired by local news WBFO on Thursday night. George Floyd death, Minneapolis protests erupt in the streets. The footage appeared to show the 2 officers pushing the senior man before he fell and hit his head on the sidewalk. Our position is these officers were simply following orders from Deputy Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia to clear the square, Mr. Evans told the Buffalo News. It doesn't specify clear the square of men, 50 and under are 15 to 40. They were simply doing their job. I don't know how much contact was made. He did slip in my estimation. He fell backwards. The mass resignation reportedly follows the union's direction to members on Friday that they would no longer pay legal fees to defend officers from incidents stemming from the protests. Joe Biden condemns Donald Trump for George Floyd remarks. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown issued a statement confirming developments related to work assignments, which reportedly sees the officers resigned from the tactical unit but not from the larger police department. Top articles: tropical storm warning issued for Gulf of Mexico. At this time, we can confirm that contingency plans are in place to maintain police services and ensure public safety within our community, Mr. Brown said. New York State Police confirmed that additional troopers were called into the region, including members of the Mobile Field Unit. During the incident in the area near Buffalo City Hall, activist Martin Gugino can be seen in the footage to approach police before stumbling backwards and hitting his head on the pavement. Full link to the video is in the description. Go to www.amor-ica.com. We are the new umbrella. Share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on WhatsApp, share via email.
Alright, and you know me, man. I'm the king of receipts. So I'm going to show you that young Pharoah was totally aware states and cities are companies, not places. And look, this is his Facebook account, right? This was on February 4th of 2020. He's posting in my group, states and cities are companies, not places. Let's look. And this is proof to you that Pharoah knows states and cities are companies, not places. What does this say? So don't play with me, because like I told you, all the people y'all look up to, they look up to me secretly, because I'm the truth, and I know the truth. They're not teaching you the truth. I got 52 members in here. 52 equals the number 7. Let's go back just to show you. Young Pharaoh is totally aware states and cities are companies, not places. He's been in this group for 6 years, 7 years. Has he ever taught y'all Buffalo is a company, not a place? Why not? He knows it. He teach you about aliens and all this other dumb shit that is not going to help you. How is anything he taught you helping you now? The shit I taught, police ain't roughing up nobody that knows what states and cities are, because we not putting ourselves in those positions. So what does this say? February. So he was posting in states and cities are companies, not places, in February. Why he not teaching y'all that? You know why? Because you would have rights. You would have American rights. You would no longer be trapped in their corporate state of mind. But he needs you trapped in that corporate state of mind, because as long as you don't know what you living in, you always going to have to come back to him. And this ain't no shot at Pharaoh. I don't know if he's doing it to help out the devils or what, but he not helping y'all out by acting like Buffalo's a place and all this other stuff. And young Pharaoh, he could come on my platform and explain to me why he's still teaching people Buffalo's a place. And if y'all sit there and say white people don't want to hear that, y'all stupid as Americans for letting a foreign company come here and tell you you live in them. Period. Y'all stupid. And if y'all don't think this is Pharaoh's account, let's see. I just clicked on it. Let's see if this is Pharaoh's account. Member of states and cities or companies, not places, since I said 6 years. He's been in there for 4 years. 4 years of being in there with straight receipts showing them companies are not places. You should already know what's up. But is this Pharaoh's account? He hasn't posted there since February. You know how I know it's his account? Because I let him in the group as Sandra Bland, dog. And I didn't let him. Actually, Infinity put him in the group. Alright? So, at the end of the day, that's his account, alright? This is Pharaoh's account. So, you know, I'm not making this stuff up. So, why don't y'all go ask young Pharaoh what a state is? You don't got to ask him none of that other stuff. Go on his platform when he's live and ask him what a state is. He not going to be able to tell y'all, because if he told y'all what a state was, y'all would know how much people betrayed y'all to thinking that the United States is America. The United States is not America. Keep believing that dumb shit, and they're going to kill y'all. It's treason. Period. Alright, what up, y'all? Planet of Fakes here. And this is part 2 to the young Pharaoh deception. I'm about to prove to y'all that the city of Buffalo is a company, not a place. So all that information he's giving y'all is coming from somebody that don't even know what they living in. He's not an American. He don't have American rights. And at the end of the day, he's been misleading y'all, not deliberately, but he knows that companies can't be government because they're owned by people that's not pretending to live in them. And the fact that black people pretending to live in something the white man owns, you can't be pro-black if you don't know what a state is, period. So we here at the Buffalo website, ecode360.com, and here we go. Let's go to the charter that created the company of Buffalo. And remember, New York State is a company, not a place, created by the New York Constitution. Constitution is a contract between the Company of New York and the American people that was already here, not the Buffalo residents, because they're property of the foreign company. They're employees of the foreign company. They are basically the slaves of that company, because they're running around telling y'all Buffalo's a place and they're not getting paid for that. And it's a lie. And it's against the law. I'm going to show y'all all of that in this part 2. So we at the website, City of Buffalo, New York, the charter. Anybody that knows anything knows a foreign company needs a charter to do business on foreign lands. That's why all these cities have charters, because they're foreign companies. If you live in a city, you are a foreigner. I don't care if you was born here. Once your mother made you a U.S. citizen, you gave up being American to be a U.S. corporate employee, product, slave, whatever you want to call it. So let's go to Title 1 because Title 1 always tells you what they are. There goes Title 1. Title 1, the local law shall be known as the Charter of the City of Buffalo. So we establish it. I'm showing you the law of what young Pharaoh's pretending to live in. And may be referred to herein as an act or charter. No problem. Corporate. Why are the first words corporate? Because it's a company, not a place. If Buffalo was a place, it would say, where the place located by Pennsylvania and all this other dumb shit. But no. So look how it starts off. The citizens. So that's talking about young Pharoah himself, because he's a citizen of Buffalo. And he's a U.S. citizen and a New York resident. You know, resident stands for reside. Reside means to leave America to side with the foreigners. So everybody that's a resident, you are on the side of the foreigners. You can't be mad they're killing you for pretending your state is an American place. It is not. Why are you trying to overthrow America? We don't have 50 separate American places here. America is the one place. States and cities are foreign companies. That's why y'all are called the United States, because you can be divided, mother fakers. Anyway, let's continue. I don't got a lot of time. The citizens of this state who may from time to time reside within the boundaries of the city of Buffalo, defined whatever, shall continue to be a municipal corporation. So this is why they could push 75-year-old men down to the ground, because you're not alive. You're a corporation. Somebody tell me, how do you be born in a corporation? Because young Pharoah will tell you he was born in Buffalo. All these U.S. citizens will tell you they were born in the U.S. How do you get born in a company? I'll wait for your answer, traitors. You are traitors, because America's not the United States, and I already told you that. You already know that by the name. U.S. of A, not U.S. is A. So the fact y'all pretending states are places, you get what you deserve for trying to overthrow America. The United States ain't America. And it's the United States' job to get rid of treasonous foreigners trying to overthrow America. By pretending the United States is America, you're trying to overthrow it. I don't want to hear the news told you this. I don't want to hear that school, state education taught you this. Because as a man or a woman, you're supposed to know what you pretending to live in. You're supposed to know what you calling government. You're supposed to know what you let killing your babies, raping your women, and killing your, imprisoning your men. And you don't know that, so it's proof that you're a traitor. So how could you ever have American rights if you don't even know the difference between the United States and America? You'll never have American rights. You're U.S. corporate citizens. Let's continue. Shall continue to be a municipal corporation in perpetuity under the name of the city of Buffalo. So there we have it. The citizens are corporations that pretend to live in the city of Buffalo. There go my receipt right there. Anybody that know young Pharoah, go get him a receipt. Go get his receipt that Buffalo's a place. And it better be official, because this is the law. Y'all already see in the first title, dog. The local law shall be known as the charter. What does this say? What does this say? Charter, doesn't it? Doesn't it say charter? So this is the law. If I'm bringing a law, he can't bring a newspaper saying it's 86 degrees in Buffalo. He can't bring a Buffalo Bills player and say, Buffalo is a place. He can't bring none of that shit to court. This is that shit that stop a cop from beating your ass, because you know you're not in their company. But as long as you think their company's a place, they gonna beat your fucking ass, because you trespassing. So let's continue. And you know, when you leave in certain areas of America and you see you're now leaving corporate limits, this is what they're talking about. Because every town and city is a foreign company, not an American place. Why you think you born a U.S. citizen? If U.S. citizenship would have benefited black people, we would have to jump through fire hoops to become a U.S. citizen, just like y'all got to jump through fire hoops to get a gun permit when it's your right by God and by the law of this land to have a gun. But y'all pretend to live in these companies. Now you need a license because you in a company with a gun. You not on America, you on a foreign company with a gun. And this is why they killing your black babies. This is why they locked up your black men. And this is why they rape your black women. I don't want to hear nothing else. You can't be pro-black and you think the United States is America. And then they go on TV and say America's racist. They not even Americans. This is why y'all stupid, because you let TV, foreigners, and a state education turn you against America. And America's the only thing keeping you alive. Because when y'all quote rights, y'all quoting the rights that y'all got from this land, not them bullshit corporate benefits that they changing every day. So y'all continue to fake. I don't really care. I told you, I got 350 Americans that don't know what America is before me to be executed for treason. So I'm not worried. Because when they come to me, I'm not giving them their company information. I'm going to ask them what a state is. And if they can't tell me, they getting locked up. Because it's against the law to live in a state and not know what a state is. And it's against the law to work for a state and not know what a state is. Period. That's treason. So anyway, beginning at the point where a line parallel with the 1,315 feet distance, southern is just a boundary. A boundary don't make it a place. I told y'all, if I have a car lot and I rent it to a flea market, when that flea market is there, it's not that it's not my car lot no more. They just got control of it until I take it back. But since y'all don't know the difference between America and the U.S., as Americans, you're never going to be able to take America back because you too stupid claiming states and cities. And those are people's foreign companies. I just showed you that. But anyway, y'all keep faking, and I'm going to show y'all how it's treason. All right, so here it goes right here. Let me let y'all hear it.
Misprision.
Oh, it doesn't give us the definition. It doesn't read the definition. All right, so let me read it. This is what you're guilty of, pretending that the United States is America. This is an international crime, and this is why the United Nations will be on America, basically executing U.S. citizens legally. The deliberate concealment of one's knowledge of a treasonable act. So let me ask you, is this treasonable? U.S. is America. Because that's what y'all pretending. Y'all pretending the U.S. is A. That's treason because the U.S. is not A. The U.S. is of A, meaning that that's the foreign company assigned to America. It is not America. Like I said, nobody in their right mind would think Bank of America was America. So why these U.S. citizens running around thinking the U.S. of A is America? Because they only got state educations and the state didn't teach them what a state was. They only look up to celebrities and basically the news is their masters. And I keep telling y'all, stop trusting fake pro-blacks that can't tell you what a state is. You're going to get killed by the state and they're not going to do nothing about it because they don't even know what a state is. So let's see if we could get a better definition. Misprision. A felony is a form of misprision and an offense under common law of England. Where's England? Is England America? No. So this tells you this is an international law. Didn't colonies come from England? Didn't colonies turn into states? Aren't you pretending to live in a state? So if y'all living in something that came from England, why the fuck y'all pretending it's America? Because you've been miseducated too, because they want to kill you. It's the same way they got rid of the Indians. They trick you into an agreement and then they break the agreements, killing you. But y'all keep faking. It's your kids, not mine. Of England that is no longer active in many common law countries. Where it was or is it active is classified as a misdemeanor. It consists of failing to report knowledge of a felony to the appropriate authorities. You don't think telling the American people that Donald Trump is the president of a company and he has nothing to do with America whatsoever? I'm not reporting that. I'm reporting it to the government of the corporation, the people. Y'all supposed to be putting them in their place because they're not America. They're foreign companies. But since your sons are cops, since your daughter's in the army, and since you got a federal job, you gonna pretend the state is America because that's where you get your power from. F your power. You ain't got no power. You gonna go down for treason because the United States ain't America. And like I said, you could go to Hawaii where the United States is set up too. Ask a Hawaiian if the United States is Hawaii. He'll tell you no. Ask a Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico, hey, is the United States Puerto Rico? He'll tell you no. Because they know the difference between an occupying foreign force and their land. Americans are the only fools that don't know the difference between an occupying force and the land of America. So this is why when you ask a black person, what's your nationality, they don't even know what to tell you. Because U.S. citizens sound stupid and they already been trained to think they came from Africa. So they have no connection to America whatsoever. What does that tell you? They have no right to be here. And this is why they killing y'all. Fact. Misprision is guilty. It's a treasonable offense. Deliberate, unintended. Look, it doesn't matter if it's deliberate or unintended. A mistake, one due to misreading, either deliberate or unintended or misunderstanding. Yes or no? Do U.S. citizens have a misunderstanding of what the U.S. is? Yes, they do. It's still a crime. Let's listen.
Misprision.
And it only gives us the word. Luckily, I have my own talking phone. So let me let my phone talk.
Misprision play mispre-scion. A mistake, now especially. One due to misreading, either deliberate or unintended, or to misunderstanding. Scorn. Contempt. Law. Misconduct or neglect of duty, especially by a public official. Act of contempt against a government or court. Origin of misprision. Middle English mesprision from Old French from past participle of mesprendre, to take wrongly from mis plus prendre from classical Latin prehender, to take, see prehensile.
Yes or no? Is the United States wrongfully taking America from the American people by tricking them into being U.S. citizens and they can't even tell you what a state is? Come on, this is dummy work. But y'all listening to a young man. That's why I always looked at these old ladies and old men that sit up here and listen to young Pharoah. Y'all supposed to know what states are and teach him. But he's sitting there teaching you about aliens, teaching you about 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, and making sure he don't say F the police. And this is nothing against young Pharoah, but his teaching is just going to lead you in a FEMA camp. And he's been dropping knowledge for 6 years, and all he got to tell you is the reason you getting beat up by police now is the Illuminati. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves, and this is why y'all never be Americans. Y'all don't got the heart, y'all don't got the courage, and you don't got the brains to even know what you living in, and you don't even care. This is why they call you minorities, not because of the numbers, because you have the mind of a minor, and this is why they getting rid of y'all. It'll be a better earth without people that have to be taken care of by bankrupt companies. And you can't lie and say the U.S. ain't a bankrupt company. You want me to show you that receipt? All right, here go the receipt that the U.S. is a bankrupt company. I'm here at the usdebtclock.org. Let me know what place is in $25 trillion debt. National means company, state means company. United Corporations corporate debt, 25 trillion. And like I said, any black people that's loyal to the United States over black people, you deserve what you get. And it ain't one black person I won't find that won't take a U.S. job paying them $1 million a year. I don't care how much money the U.S. pay me. I'm not taking their job because they are a foreign company and I need my American rights in case they ever violate them. It will protect me from defending myself from them. So y'all go around being U.S. is American citizens while they choke your grandmothers, body slam your grandmothers, push 75-year-old men to the ground, and all you police that don't know what states and cities are, you're guilty of treason. So as soon as you finish bullying the U.S. citizenry, the foreigners on top of y'all, they gonna bully y'all and they gonna get y'all out of here. And then you're gonna have a full foreign U.S. is a here, while all the black people done died from thinking it's their government and crying out for rights and justice. You're never gonna get justice. They're a bankrupt company, and y'all wouldn't even let your own brother owe you $5, but y'all pretending to live in something that owes 25 trillion, haven't been to work in 11 weeks, and y'all think it's gonna get better. Y'all going in FEMA camps. Y'all don't know what you living in. And you more loyal to the U.S. than you are to your own self. That's why y'all don't care what you're living in. As long as you got other people that's pretending and being dumb like you, you're going to continue to be dumb. That's on y'all, man. That's on y'all. But stop lying to the babies. The babies deserve to know the United States ain't America. And that's why y'all really traitors. Forget the U.S. part. The fact that your babies don't know what the U.S. is and y'all keep having them getting birth certificates, not building your own hospitals, not establishing your own land, not establishing your own schools, it showed me that y'all nothing to be down with. Y'all self-haters and you deserve what you get. So any pro-blacks hearing this, y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth with receipts. U.S. is a company, but it gets deeper because I'm going to break it down more. Now look, this video right here, I'm going to even stop this so I could do it better. All right, I just told y'all I'm going to prove to y'all that y'all living in foreign companies. This video, he starts it off incorrect. He's going to say colonies are places. So somebody help me out. When do places travel? Can I take America to England? So we know colonies ain't places, but I'm just showing you how ignorant people are. And this is why the police are killing you, and that's why foreigners You owe foreigners 25 trillion and they don't owe you nothing, and they over here killing your mothers, your sisters, your brothers. Listen, he's going to say colonies are places. Colonies are not places. Colonies are companies that belong to the king. And I told y'all the name of the book is called The King's Two Bodies, and it will explain to you what states are, cities are, and why the king created them.
A colony is a place that's settled by a group of people outside their home country and belongs to or is ruled by that home country. By the
Right. So look, he's telling you colonies are owned by that other country. So if colonies turned into states, states are owned by England. You're living in states. You are owned by England. You are not American. I'm gonna rewind it. These are facts.
A colony is a place that's settled by a group of people outside their home country and belongs to or is ruled by that home country. By the mid-17th.
All right, I also want to pause it to debunk colonies are places. Is a colony of ants places? No. When the U.S. faked these moon shuttle landings and they put colonies on the moon, are those places? No. They're not places. A colony is not a place. A colony is simply a group. So if states are a group, tell me, black people, how are you being born in a group of people? And how are you pro-black if those people ain't black and you pretending to live in them? Somebody help me. Fake pro-blacks. That's why I don't mess with none of them.
England had set up 13 colonies along the east coast of America.
Right. Let's pause. Who notices he didn't say the east coast of the United States? The reason he didn't say the east coast of the United States, because America had no states. The colony turns to states. So before the colonies came here, we called it America. Now, 200, 300, 400 years later, you ask an American what a state is, they don't know, but they loyal to the states. They pay taxes to it. They let it kill their kids and then say it's corrupt and march, all this dumb stuff. But let's continue, because I just proved to y'all that states are not places. Because if they were places, Christopher Columbus, he would have discovered the United States. He didn't. He discovered America. And here go the colonies bringing the United States to America. And you're pretending to live in what? An English colony. Don't be surprised why you don't have American rights.
Home country. By the mid-1700s, England had set up 13 colonies along the east coast of America. These colonies all had some things in common, but they can be divided into 3 groups that each had a certain way of life. Now, let's start in the northeast. Look, and you'll see the New England colonies, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire.
And think about it, y'all. If states was American places, why would they have foreign names? New York. York is in England. Hampshire, that's in England. You understand? That's why y'all ignorant, because y'all foreigners and y'all swear y'all Americans. How y'all gonna be Americans? You can't even tell your kid what a state is.
In Massachusetts, people came mainly from England for religious freedom to practice their religion the way they need it. But to raise a family and try to feed them can prove to be difficult, and for a few reasons. Soil was rocky, the climate cold, they could barely grow.
We don't need this. Y'all know that when the colonies got here, there were no states. Let me see if I can find a video how colonies turn into states. Because I think it's amazing that a place could come from England, then come to America and multiply, and now you living in them and they killing you and you screaming out, America. The U.S. ain't America, you traitors. Alright, and in this video, at the beginning of the video, he's going to tell you, because country means company. Think about it. If a country was place, you don't create places with paper. America was not created with paper. The United States was created with paper. So listen to what he's going to say. And again, I'm a black man. This shows you that black people are racist themselves. Since I'm a black man explaining to black people what a state is, they not going to believe me to a white man tell them. Don't you notice ain't no white men telling them states are foreign companies? So they're going to die waiting for a white man to tell them what they living in when they got a black man showing them. You see why I don't talk to these people? You see why I really don't even get involved with their struggles? Because they're struggling out of ignorance, and I'm not ignorant. A grown man, he's going to know what he's living in. He's going to know what he's calling government, and he's going to know what he's going to allow to be done to him, his family, and people he care about. These people living in states, They can't do nothing for you. The state already killing people by kneeing on their neck. What's going to stop the state from doing that to the next U.S. citizen? Nothing. They don't even know what America is. So they never going to stop a cop. But when you know the state is a foreign company, you ain't going to have no problem stopping a cop from killing an American. You supposed to as an American. But y'all not Americans. Y'all U.S. citizens and don't even know what the S is.
The Declaration of Independence proclaimed a new country, the United States of America.
There it goes. So the Declaration of Independence created what black people living in 2020. Or do you see any black people here? So y'all living in something that white people created with a piece of paper. You can't live in paper, y'all. This is why they killing y'all. And this is why they going to continue to kill y'all. And after it's all said and done, they going to toast their glasses to see how ignorant y'all was. Look, for 400 years, we tricked them to live in our companies, and we finally got rid of all of them. They got Ebola out here. They got National Guard out here, and y'all still don't care? I don't care either. These are your children, not mine.
Think about what that name really means. It means the Declaration of Independence proclaimed a new country, the United States of America. Think about what that name really means.
Let me pause it. Did he say the United States is America or the United States of America? States are colonies, the United Colonies of America. Black people are living in England colonies on America, talking about they African and wondering why they don't have no American rights. And every time they go on TV, they tell y'all America's racist. You know why? Because they need you to hate America. Because once you love your state and your city to the point where you'll let them beat your ass and turn around and blame it on America, you are a full traitor. You can't bring up no American rights. You hate the America because you so cowardly, you'll never say the United States is racist, and as Americans, we got a right for them not to be here. So of course they're going to kill you, because if it was my company and it was people that belonged here and forgot or got miseducated to think they didn't belong here, I would get rid of them too. So let's rewind it one more time. Proof that country means company, because you can't create places with paper. You only could create companies with it. And this is how people were stupid. We were here before paper. If you pretending to live in something created on paper, you ignorant. Because we was here before paper. What did people live in or live on before paper? Common sense stuff. But again, young Pharoah, all these fake pro-blacks, they're not going to teach black people that because they want you under the white man. They've been teaching you the white man is over you all these years. So of course, they're not going to teach you that the white man is only over you because you pretending to live in this foreign company, because that'll make their white supremacy go away. Ain't no white people supreme over me. Period. And if this get flagged, I got my sight.
The Declaration of Independence proclaimed a new country, the United States of America. Think about what that name really means. It means that 13 separate and independent states joined together, united to make one country.
Let's pause. I thought it was 13 colonies. Look at the title. So you see how he lies even with his title. He lying. It's supposed to be 13 colonies. You understand? Look, you got the 13 right there, 13 colonies. So he starts it off with 13 states. You see how deceptive this is? But again, I'm not the complexion for correction. Pro-blacks are waiting for a guy like this to tell them what a state or city is so they could go spread it. They're never going to tell you. Because that's the only thing keeping them above you, the state.
Think about what that name really means. It means that 13 separate and independent states joined together, united to make one country.
So let's pause it. He just said states were separate. If states was American places, how could they be separate? Common sense stuff. This is why I don't mess with pro-blacks. This is why I don't mess with U.S. citizens. This is why I don't care about what state people pretending to live in. Because all I know is when the state come up and body slam your grandmother, you ain't gonna do nothing but cry. We just watched a man die with a knee on his neck and nobody stopped the cops because they don't even know what the state of the state of Minnesota is. You don't think that's dangerous? You don't think that's treason? It is treason. You just watched an American die from a foreign knee on his neck and you did nothing. You think I want to be around you people?
Okay, so what were the original states that declared independence and united? Well, starting at the top, they were Massachusetts, which was first settled by the Pilgrims in 1620. As you can see, at that time, Massachusetts included the present state of Maine. We'll talk more about that later. The next three states, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, began as offshoots of Massachusetts. They were all first settled in the 1630s. New York was founded as the Dutch colony of New Netherlands. It became British in 1664 when the Duke of York drove out the Dutch.
So let me pause it. It's showing you the origins of the foreign companies you're living in. Stop thinking you're American. Young Pharoah ain't American. He never will be American. Sarnetta ain't American. He'll never be American. Seti, he's not American. None of them are American because they're colonists. Colonies are England owned, Britain owned. And now that we're here, let me ask you, since y'all so fake, and this is why we planted the fakes, because y'all all fakes, and we know y'all fakes. Y'all don't care if y'all don't admit it. We know y'all fakes. So look, these are the only 13 states that was established at that time, right? Let me ask you something. What's this? What's this? What's this? Because you know why you need to answer that? Because all of this still exists. You don't got to acknowledge their company. It's none of your business. But since you let your mothers trick you into being citizens and to bow down to these foreigners and they killing you now and all your mother could do is come on the news with an ugly face and cry, you gonna keep pretending. Keep pretending. Any black people or black men that follow these women into your doom after they already killed 10 million or 20 million of us with abortions, jail, and all that other stuff, you deserve what you get. You should be teaching these women what states are, and you should be building so they won't have to rely on the state. But they not going to build because they don't want to stay with one woman. They don't want to stay with their baby mothers. But guess what, women? Y'all silly for having babies with men that don't know what states are. Because now that you got a baby with a man that don't know what a state is, he could easily leave you and say, hey, let the state raise the baby. So women, y'all just as ignorant for having babies with dudes that don't know what states are, just like dudes is ignorant for having babies with women that don't know what states are. And then you end up in jail because of child support and don't know how. You a colonist, you're not American. And y'all not building shit. Y'all sit up here and suck these celebrities that tell you they from Louisiana and New York City and all that dumb shit. Meanwhile, they got enough money to build on private land and bring you back to America. But they not. They too busy wanting to be lap dogs for these foreigners. I'ma let them. I don't care. It's your babies, not mine.
New Jersey was established the same year, 1664, by friends of the Duke.
All right, if New Jersey was established, meaning it's an establishment in 1664, where did people live in 1663? Did that place disappear? No, America's still here. But y'all can't claim it because you're too busy sucking New Jersey.
Of York. Pennsylvania means Penn's Woods. King Charles II gave the land to William Penn in 1671 to repay a debt to his family. Delaware was first.
Let me pause it. The last video I showed y'all, it said colonies are basically foreigners that are still owned by their home country. And that's why they're bringing up the Dutch and the British, because all these companies are still owned by them. This is why you don't have American rights. You're a product. Living in a fake place, you let foreigners set up on your land.
Settled by Sweden, then captured by the Dutch, then taken over by the Duke of York, and finally given to William Penn as part of Pennsylvania. In 1703, Penn allowed the three most southern counties to establish their own assembly. In 1776, it became the state of Delaware. Maryland.
If in 1776 it became the state of Delaware, where did people live in 1775? I know you ain't gonna answer this because you a traitor. So don't think people feel sorry for you when they see your blood spilling, all right?
It was founded in 1632 by Lord Baltimore as a haven for Roman Catholics who were being persecuted in England. Next is Virginia. This is where the first permanent English settlement was established in 1607 at Jamestown. On the maps of the original U.S., Virginia didn't look like this. It was much bigger. That's because it included the present state of West Virginia. More about that later. South Carolina and North Carolina were originally one colony. That was in 1663. They separated in 1729. And
let me ask you something. If Carolina was a place, did they split the land? Come on, somebody help me. Somebody help me. If Carolina is a place, did they split the land? No, it was a big company. They split the company. So all you black people that'll kill somebody because they say something bad about Carolina, you don't even own that foreign company. That's why y'all ignorant as fuck. Because y'all sitting here claiming shit you can't even define and that you got no ownership in. You gave up being American to be foreign colonists. And then you wondering why the police beating your ass and then got the nerve to turn around and say it's America. F you, all your celebrities, your state education, your TV, F all of that. This is why y'all going in FEMA camps for trying to betray America. Colonies ain't America, dog. Y'all retarded. Colonies are states. States ain't America. U.S. of A, not U.S. is A. Traitors. Biggest traitors of all times.
Georgia was founded in 1732 as a refuge for debtors. The first 13 United States of America. Do you know what the 14th is?
Right. The first 13 United States, and he said state, not states, state.
The first 13 United States of America. Do you know what the 14th is? It's Vermont, the Green Mountain State. Vermont became the country's 14th state in 1791 after a long...
States are now growing. Did the land grow? And this is how you know people are ignorant. And they waiting for a white person to teach them what I'm teaching them. That's why you dying. I've been teaching this for years now. How many people you done seen die and couldn't even tell you what a state is? What that tell you? How many people died by the state and they can't even tell you what a state is? The state just brought corona in here, killed off what, 100,000 people? None of them could tell you what a state is. You don't think that's ignorant? You don't think that's ignorant? It is ignorant. And wait till they bring the worst disease here. Wait till they bring the airborne disease here. Because they got to get rid of y'all because y'all don't have nowhere to go. Y'all not Americans and the United States company is bankrupt and they're getting rid of it. So they got to get rid of all of his staff and all of his property. That's you and your kids.
Dispute between Massachusetts, New York, and New Hampshire over who owned what land. When all three gave up their claims, Vermont entered the Union. Now, let me finish the stories that I mentioned before. Maine, as I said, was originally a part...
I want to pause it because they just said a union. Now, when you hear the word union, what does it remind you of? The European Union, where they made every country a state. Now they're the United States of Europe. Now, don't you know they got rid of that European Union shit? Or they're getting rid of it? Because the people don't want to be under a corporate rule. That's communism. Unlike the U.S. citizen who's under a corporate rule, the United States corporation, that's communism. But they tell you it's capitalism. How is it capitalism when everything you own is registered to a state? And when somebody asks you what a state is, you can't even tell them. You don't think that's ignorant? You got a Lamborghini registered to the state. I ask you what a state is, you can't tell me. You don't think that's ignorant? That's fucking ignorant.
Massachusetts. It became an independent state in 1820. But it...
Right, if it became an independent state in 1820, where did people live before then? And I'm asking young Pharoah, since he's so smart, could tell us about aliens, Illuminati, Bilderberg. I'm asking him, where did people live before then, young Pharoah?
It wasn't until 1842 that the state's present-day northern boundary was established. It's really an interesting story. Here's the short version.
And that's it. I'm not showing y'all no more. And this is how they know y'all kids. Because that's the whole...
Reports of cases argued and determined in the Supreme Court. Google Books result. Web links. New York State Supreme Court, Nicholas Hill 1844 Law Reports, Digests, etc. The City of Buffalo. On demurrer to a replication which alleges that an ordinance of a municipal corporation was historical statement of the unification of the book concern, being web links books. 1908. Being the action of several bodies officially related thereto. Buffalo, N.Y. January 4, 1907. Shall be instituted as will create a body politic and corporate, under the laws of the state of New York.
Companies, not places. Keep playing stupid. With that being said, what you heard and saw was the content. For additional content, click the link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, visit my community wall, and if you have time, go to www.amore-eka.com/TV. That's our Planet of Fakes 2. We are the new umbrella. Planet up. What up, y'all? Planet of Fakes, king of content.